Hello from Troubled Waters. Hey, today we're going to continue some biblical concepts. Today we're talking about comparing ourselves to others. It's not cool. Satan seems to be a master at deception, and sometimes I think when we're in a deceived state, the baseline we look for is human rather than godly. In other words, we're getting our commands from others, from human beings, instead of spending time with God, learning from God by spending time in His Word, talking to God in prayer. So today, if you're following along, I want to read, this is Peter after Jesus' crucifixion. Jesus is talking to him. He said, you're going to die by crucifixion. But I want you to notice, we're going to be in John 21, verse 19 through 23. So I want you to notice where Peter's heart is, even after God, through Jesus Christ, tells him that, hey, you're going to be crucified. Look where his heart is. So verse 19, thus he spoke, signifying by what death he would glorify God. And when he had spoken this, he said to him, follow me. Then Peter, turning around, saw the disciple whom Jesus loved following, who had also leaned on his breast at the supper, and said, Lord, who is the one who's going to betray you? Peter, seeing him, said to Jesus, but Lord, what about this man? And notice Jesus' response. Jesus said to him, if I will that he remain till I come, what is that to you? Follow me. So that was through verse 22. Comparison it's really bad. For me, I've seen this before. When I compare myself to others, the baseline is never level. In other words, if I'm going to compare myself to you or to anybody, it's not a fair comparison. It's never going to be a true baseline, because your experiences in life, like if there's somebody who's a better speaker or who is smarter, or in my mind has a greater perception of talents and abilities, and I'm out there comparing myself to that person, what am I going to do? I'm always going to fall short. I'm never going to measure up. It's going to hurt my self-esteem, my confidence, and it really, as what we've said, we're trophy stands to put Christ on display. I want to be the best version of myself as I possibly can. And if I'm not doing that, then I'm letting God down. And that's the last thing I want to do. And what I do in these cases is know that there's people out there that have different gifts, that have better gifts, that have more gifts. There's people out there that have fewer gifts, that aren't as talented and aren't as smart. There's people who are smarter. In other words, I could be 300th out of 600 or 3 million out of 6 million. Does it really matter? What matters is that I'm putting God on display through the Lord Jesus Christ. So what I'm doing is I am getting alone with God, and I'm spending time alone with Jesus Christ in prayer, and I'm talking to God. And in that moment, I'm sharing with God my concerns or my feelings of inadequacy. Where's our peace come from? God. And that's what I want to do, and that's what I kind of relate to you. So put your comments in there. When you're stressed or feeling those inadequate emotions, how do you deal with it? When I'm alone with God or in prayer or reading the Word, the owner's manual, it always uplifts me. If I'm dealing with depression, loneliness, or just feelings of being worn down or let down, maybe somebody let me down that I put some faith in as in another human. What I'm saying is, for me, spending that go time with God, connecting with Him, asking God to show me what are those talents. Show me, God. And then what am I doing? I am going out there like a polished, well-oiled machine, a trophy stand to put Jesus on display, and people are going to notice. They're going to see the confidence. They're going to see the higher pitch in my voice. They're going to feel the energy of God being on display. It's not about me. It never was. In heaven, if I'm rewarded, fine. Fine. If I'm not, fine. You know, my end all be all is to love you, humanity, my family, and to reflect the glory, character, and salvation of God. And those times when I'm sick spiritually, I need to go to the doctor. I need to spend time with the Lord of Lords and the King of Kings. So please, I just ask one thing: like this video. When you click the thumbs up, it gets the word out. I want the message to go to as many people as we can, because these are important topics and people need to be aware. Go out, make this a great day, but above all, make it a godly day.